The lizard people are pulling the strings. Watch out, 'cause they will lay their eggs in you. Join us for Vivarium from 2019. This is the Unsung Cinematics Podcast, where we review some of the best kept secrets in TV and film. Your hosts, Stewart and Rastislav, present you with a misunderstood movie to see if it deserves the title of being unsung. Hello, all the lizard people out there in podcast land.
Hello, cuckoos. How are you guys doing?
I think we're the ones that flew over the cuckoo nest a little bit.
Well, that's
the name
another
of the
category of movie. That's another category.
I think I would have rather watched that one again than watch what we're about to review.
Yeah. It's a little bit much, but 2019 film. This is episode 69. Yeah.
Nice. So basically the temperature in all over the place, ideal for Vivarium review. So
yeah.
I picked this movie because Jesse Eisenberg, he was always kind of hanging around the indie movie. He always does some I would say paycheck movie, and then he would look around and for some indie movies. He did Double. That was really good one. It's kind of Kafkaesque movie, also from 2000s. He did also another movie with Imogen Poots, just like in this one, which is called The Art of Self-Defense.
I saw that. I saw that, and I quite enjoyed it. Very, very dark humored, and yeah.
Nice. So basically, that's why I picked this movie, because I was wondering what kind of movie he joined into. Well, there are some nice moments, and
there are good aspects to it. Yeah.
The rating is not so great on IMDb or
5.9.
The movie is from 2019. It was filmed in Belgium and in Ireland. The director is Lorcan Finnegan, which is also Irish director, and it was produced by John McDonnell and Brendan McCarthy. It was launched. The first screening was on the Cannes Film Festival. There was also some awards. You can check it out on Wikipedia or IMDb. IMDb rating is 5.9, Metacritic 64, Tomato Critics 73. It's a little bit better. The general audience is 39. But we do have our opinion about Rotten Tomato webpage.
Yeah.
The movie is 97 minutes. It's located on not specific country. It just in accordance to accent, maybe it was in UK, perhaps. Seeing the car models and the props and everything, it looks like late 2000s. The budget was 4 million euros. Earnings, gross earnings are 487,625. I mean, that's a crazy number. I mean, they probably count every single ticket or something. I mean,
every shilling, every
shilling, every cent. And I was actually expecting that there's gonna be like some cent, whatever, like the cent value or something.
25 cents for coffee.
And
at the concession stand.
It's still available on streaming services, and you can buy even a hard copy from Amazon or whatever.
Stuart and I both watched it on Shudder, and for I don't know why, but it was actually the number one. Shudder, they changed their interface recently, and they have a list of the top 10 titles the top 10 titles on the platform, and for whatever reason, Vivarium was actually number one for a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, that must be all the Canes Festival and the various family members.
Because I mean, I don't even really
Yeah,
see it as a traditional Shudder title because there's not a lot of horror or suspense going on. There's some makeup effects with a bit later on, but nothing nothing that really made me shudder.
I just wanted to say I see the disconnect between the IMDb and Wikipedia. IMDb says it's a horror, and Wikipedia says
Yeah,
it's a science fiction psychological thriller. On the other hand, IMDb says horror,
yeah.
but I don't see any horror aspects to that.
Um,
So
More like existential dread, I would say,
Yeah,
or
you
I
know,
guess you could maybe say cosmic horror or cosmic suspense.
yeah, it's somewhere in between. I kind of thought it was going to be a
Yeah, yeah,
backrooms film at first, and then it quickly
yeah, yeah,
diverged from that.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was more like a Groundhog Day or a Loop sort of thing.
yeah, existential dread is more accurate, I think.
Yeah, that's the sort of vibe I got from it.
Basically, that's about the specs.
yeah, I was just going to say there was one thing with the film. Apparently, I guess this is sort of in the directorial category that it may have been inspired by the 1960s film Village of the Damned, but
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, there was only the one child, but yeah, I could see why because the child had pretty the son they got delivered on their doorstep more or less
yeah, I haven't
had some
seen it
pretty.
myself, but it would
But yeah,
seem
yeah, yeah.
similar. Yeah,
I think I saw the '90s version some years ago. I haven't seen the original from the '50s, but I did watch the '90s version from John. I believe it was John Carpenter some years ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
I suspect the
Right.
'60s version was much
or '60s.
better.
Yeah. I think yeah, I believe that was a critical success. Yeah, I'm not sure about box office, but
And,
it is well regarded. Yeah,
and plus also it's highly motivated by all the conspiracy theories about the lizard people, like
yeah, yeah.
the other dimension of people who are living here from the beginning, they live underground.
Kind of like Iron Sky 2.
Yeah.
Kind of like Iron Sky too, yeah. Lizard people, they live underground.
Yeah, so the conspiracies, there's definitely going on through the film. I mean, whether it's lizard people or aliens or a secret government organization, however, I highly doubt that's the case. Apparently, in an interview, the director had said he's open to everyone's interpretations. He had no specific goal in mind for how it was supposed to be interpreted by the fans or lack of fans, I
Oh,
suppose.
Well, as for the directing, and directing was, I think, not so difficult because Jesse Eisenberg is experienced actor, of course. Imogen Poots, she was actually the one uh, who pitched this movie to Jesse Eisenberg. She was the one who pitched it
oh,
because, like
hmm.
I said, they already were friends from the movie The Art of Self-Defense. So she pitched this movie to
Right,
him,
right.
and he was interested, so he joined in. I don't think it was a difficult work for Lorcan Finnegan to work with these two young actors who are very experienced from the other movies. And plus, the other actors, okay, there was this boy, then the bigger boy, those are, I think both of them are Irish actors.
Mm.
They were acting this, I would say, difficult role of some sort of freak creature, but on the other hand, you can also just kick in your imagination when you are playing something like that.
Yeah, it was almost like the character, the boy was a little bit robotic, like in some scenes, trying to learn about
Yeah, yeah.
human life. But okay, so I mean, the film is about mothers. I mean, they drive it home so many times. Mother, you're not my mother. You're my mother. Kind of a thing.
Silly mother, you are home.
Yeah, and he does it all these weird voices too. Eh?
Yeah, that was one of the weird things I noticed was sort of the disconnect in the younger version of the boy, like when he was supposed to be, I believe, about 10 years old. The the boy himself was actually about 10 years old, but the voice sounded more like 20 years old or something, or 25 perhaps.
Yeah, like the older
It's sort of
version.
strange disconnect. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it should have been the older version's voice in a younger body. But there was a weird kind of disconnect. I didn't really get why that was happening, but
I don't
Well,
think it
because they
really
are.
matters at this point, but
I don't think it matters because basically they have probably different vocal cords or whatever. I mean, and plus they grow. They really. I mean, the boy he really grew like crazy. 96 days,
right, right.
10 years old after 3 months and something, right? So
Yeah,
basically, I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
I don't think his voice matter that much in this case.
well, maybe let's talk about something positive. Was the music, I think, was okay in the film.
The music was interesting.
Let's go back to the category. Yeah, music was, first of all, it was score, which was very dreadful. It was almost, no, it was
Oh,
almost
sorry.
depressing.
I thought you said it was evoking dread. I thought you meant the score sucked. Sorry.
No,
Sorry
no,
about
it was,
that.
no, that's no problem. But it was very depressing, and it was actually accurate to, or very
Yeah,
fitting for the situation of the young couple in this vivarium,
right, right.
basically entrapped in this vivarium. And plus there was this, I would say, bright moments with the music from the radio, from the
Mhm.
car system, sound system.
Yeah, was it sort of reggae, I guess it was supposed to be?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
very
a modern
kind of,
reggae or
Yeah, yeah,
hybrid.
yeah.
Yeah, it.
Or hybrid, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I would call it young people music at this time, but yeah, sure.
Mm.
very
Yeah,
chord
but it was
with,
catchy. I mean,
it was catchy. I mean, kind of simple lyrics. Yeah, well, it was nice tune. I mean, it gives you some sort of hope in that
mhm,
situation, especially when they
right.
played that music second time when they were already entrapped.
Hmm.
And
Well, they
And they
did.
were,
I mean, he did well in creating dread and despair, and with the lighting and this
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
basically the film. They're trapped in this endless neighborhood of perfectly constructed houses and perfectly constructed streets, and there's no. It's like a
Hmm.
maze. There's no way out. That portrayal, he did well in that regard. It made you feel like you're inside of a void almost, and there's no people
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
There's nothing really to do other than just live with your own
yeah.
thoughts and go crazy, essentially. But
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
I was having a little bit of feeling of the movie the Jim Carrey was on, the Truman Show, if you guys remember that one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
I
Yeah,
remember.
like being in some
Maybe,
kind of
yeah.
entrapment.
Well, the difference between those two, I would say, I mean, these two, I should say, is with the Jim Carrey film, that one, there's other people around, so you're not really lonely. But in this one, you're totally like, you feel like you're
Isolated,
isolated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're
interesting
right.
you point that out. Yeah, yeah, interesting you point that out.
But control, yeah, that's the theme in both films is about the controlling the situation,
Yeah, yeah.
controlling the people, and controlling, well, in
Right,
this case,
right.
controlling the non-married couple, I guess.
Well,
Hmm.
even controlling the environment. I mean, they
Right.
apparently they were able to manipulate with the landscape and everything. Like
Yeah.
suddenly he would
Weird
pull out
yellow dirt and stuff. Yeah.
he was just kind of hiding in the underneath of the pavement, I guess, or like
Right.
he
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
even the food you couldn't choose. So basically, it's very clinical, cruel. This impression or feeling of the dreadfulness and I guess depression and isolation, it was very strong. So that was very good work from Lorcan Finnegan. Also a dialogue. I mean, dialogue was. I mean, those were two ordinary people. I believe, she was a nursery, or not nursery. I mean, like a
school teacher, I believe.
School
Like
teacher.
primary.
She was a
Yeah.
primary school teacher, and he was like a blue collar. Like he was like
Like a
Groundskeeper.
yardscaper. Yeah, groundskeeper sort
yeah,
of or employed. Yeah.
yeah. He was like a handyman, like in the garden and stuff.
He was groundskeeper Willie.
So
Was it?
basically,
It was fairly straightforward and is passionate enough, I suppose.
Sorry, Ross. So I did have one question for you about the style or
right.
directing or production design. I noticed the dominance of the color sort of vomit green on the into it was kind of dominant in the design of the houses and the neighborhood in general. I was just wondering how you felt about that color choice, given I remember you had an aversion to similar green tones in the interior scenes of The Hidden when we reviewed that a few years back. I was just wondering how you felt about the similar color scheme in this film as opposed to in The Hidden.
Well, it was sickening for sure. when
That's
when
perfect.
you when you use color, I mean green color specifically, it's supposed to be symbol of life and the grow and
Hmm.
blooming, and I don't know, spring. But in this case, they use this specific. Really, I felt like in the hospital, like when you go to neurology or something, you have this
Yeah.
you have these
Yeah,
green
yeah.
walls, like which makes you, I guess, calmer. But in this case, it was
It,
really
not
sickening,
quite,
and
not so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that color of green is typically used as a way to make you feel sort of sick about the environment, you know?
Hmm. Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
As with bright green is more about, like landscaping and trees and making you feel like you're outdoors,
Sure.
but this drab sort of pastel, it's almost grayish green,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like you said, Ken, it's like a vomit.
Yeah, like pea soup or something.
In Hidden, of course, there was
The interior of the police station. Yeah.
yeah, there was the element of the some sort of alien forces or whatever, so it was
Hmm.
quite similar purpose of using this sickening color.
Right.
So I would say it's comparable that both directors that wanted to embed or implement in your mind the same feeling basically.
Right.
So that's my take on the color, and you can clearly see that at the very beginning of the movie the colors are very natural and nice, just like a
Right.
sunny
Right.
day.
Like at the
And then
school when they're yeah.
yeah, and the school, and then there was this short scene when this burial. He was, the taking care of these birds.
Oh, like the two young birds from the opening credits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
One was crowding out the other.
and then the color, basically color, starting from
The
entering that compound.
Well, even
Or
in
the
the office,
neighborhood.
yeah, the office was very drab as well, and
Yeah.
precise, and these tiny little houses were sort of lined up like in the real estate office. That's where they were
Well, like
going.
the
Right.
scale models. Yeah.
Scale models, yeah.
So basically, and then again, when she got into that underground hallways or houses, suddenly it was kind of reddish, bluish. It was like
Hmm.
the whole
Right.
palette of
That's yeah.
colors. So it was,
That sort of
uh,
trippy that sequence near the end. Yeah, where she's sort of
right.
seeing all the other people who've been subjected. I'm guessing it was a bunch of people who had also been subjected to that experiment.
Yeah, it's almost like each vivarium that somebody was in was a different theme, a different color, as an
Yeah.
experiment
Yeah.
to see how it affected the couple.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a clinical trial, basically. Like
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
lizard people were trying to find the perfect environment for raising their
Experiment.
uh,
Yeah.
Oh, experiments, but they're children basically, so they can be I guess,
Take over the planet, maybe.
valid members of human society or something. But how hard they were trying, but they still. Everybody would say like this guy is really weird, like what the hell, he talks like a robot, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and lots of imitation. Yeah.
there was lots of imitation and
One thing I kind of had to mark the director down for is how many times he used the phrase "I am not your mother" in the film. I mean, I think I probably counted at least 7, 8, 9, 10 times. I think that was kind of
could be, yeah.
overused, but
Yeah.
I almost felt like he wanted us to be cucked in the film. Watch this film or be a cuck. Like you have to watch this film.
Yeah, as if he was director was actually hypnotizing the audience to watch it through some hidden symbols, like
Yeah,
so you are overwhelmed.
yeah.
Mother, are you
Mm.
overwhelmed?
Are you overwhelmed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I was
So
definitely overwhelmed by the film.
yeah, let's do summary. So basically, the movie follows a young couple who are trying to settle in. They're trying to have a house and children and the typical suburbia dream. They are both like a kind of, I would say, low middle class, like average people. He's a gardener. She's the school teacher. Movie follows them up to the point basically when they in this search of the house they find very cheap, I would say, suburb. I think they call it like a satellite town or satellite neighborhood, so they find this project. There is this really strange guy, and he promises them to like
A
he's
cheap and
got actually
affordable house for your family and
cheap
very
and affordable house with the garden,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
nice neighbors and everything else. Once they come there, basically there is nobody around. Suddenly he disappears
looking in the
when they
backyard.
were looking at the backyard. Suddenly he's gone. They found themselves in some sort of crazy labyrinth, and they cannot get out basically. And after a few days, they got this delivery in a way of a little baby, child. I think it says something like "take care of him, and then we will release you" or something like that,
Right,
basically.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's basically the summary version without spoiling the end or whatever. And basically they're
right,
trying to get out of this vivarium. So,
Yeah.
all
right.
So, anyways, I'll play the clip.
Where were you today?
I was solving a mystery.
Really? What did you discover?
Lots.
Lots. Like what?
Lots and lots.
Did you meet anyone when you were solving your mystery?
I met you when I was finished.
Did you meet anyone else? Anyone you'd never met before? Who?
I'm not allowed to say.
Let's play a game. Let's play pretend. Pretend to be me.
Whatever.
Can you pretend to be Tom?
Gemma, stay! Will I do a dog?
Yes, please.
Woof, woof, woof.
Is there anyone else you can do? Someone you met today? Pretend to be that person.
Are you overwhelmed again, Mother?
I am not your mother.
Are you overwhelmed?
I want to go home.
Silly Mother, you are home.
Yeah, so that was the
Well,
clip with the boy.
well, here you go. That
It's yeah.
that's the voice you were talking about, kind of like a little bit older, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
kind of. He was working lots when you use your throat a lot. You know, your voice is a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what, Rosto? I'm just going to interject. After listening to that clip again, I just realized why or how they did that. So literally, they took the actual actor's voice and they just slowed it down. That's why it sounds like that.
Oh, kind of distorted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They could. Yeah, of course. Now we have all kinds of software for those softwares for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it myself, and that's how I recognize it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, the sound design guy. I guess they can do anything now. So yeah, this was the scene. This was the scene when she was trying to find out where this boy is going every day, and basically he disappears. He goes to some sort of lizard school, I guess, whatever, and
Oh, is that what is supposed to
then
be going on? Okay.
I believe so, and
Well, he's being trained a little bit, I guess.
well, you remember one
Yeah.
day he brought this alien book, like a kind of book about people. You remember there was this
Weird
font
symbols,
or
yeah.
symbols
Yeah.
called
The lizard people language.
lizard people language, and some pictures of people, and there was this glance on his neck, like.
Oh, the
So
glowing goiters in that scene that we just listened to.
Yeah.
right.
Something you would like see from a lizard who's having, I don't know, some mating
guess so,
ritual.
I don't know.
Well,
I guess.
Some frogs actually.
Or frogs, yeah.
Yeah,
some
that's true.
frogs.
Yeah.
When they're making this strong, when they are luring the females, the frogs, they use this strong sound, which goes all over the forest or whatever, and they use this
Oh.
bubble,
Maybe that's the actual sound effect. They took some frogs and just slowed that down too.
Could be. I wouldn't be surprised. So basically, there is not much to say about the plot because basically,
Well, I'll jump in and give you time to think about it more. But yeah, there isn't much plot, but I mean, the film has a lot of symbolism regarding the living this life of suburbia in a way, being trapped.
Actually, I'd like to add something to it after you're done, Stu.
For sure, yeah. So the life in suburbia was very like dreary and pointless, and you're just being forced to do something that you don't want to do, and that was one of the major elements to the plot.
Yep. I'm basically thinking along the same lines you are. If I could get incredibly pretentious for a moment, I feel this film was meant to be an allegory about dysfunctional suburban marriages or relationships and an indictment of the capitalist system that is based on nuclear families reproducing to keep feeding the machine, so to speak.
Right.
Now, my question is whether does it do it in a memorable enough manner? Because for me, it didn't really. It seemed like there was a bit too many scattered influences from other sources to really make a story that felt fresh or sort of thing. Like I started thinking back to more realistic or grounded portrayals of, let's say, suburban ennui, like American Beauty from 1999.
Mm.
Like that, I thought that got the point of suburban, I guess, dysfunction across a more effectively than this film did.
Yeah, this one doesn't
Yeah.
portray the dysfunction. It just portrays the only or the character of it, the despair of it, right? So
Right, and yeah, exactly. And it doesn't really explore, yeah.
And basically the film basically exposed itself right at the very start in I guess the second scene where the two birds were laying dead on the ground, and she says,
yeah.
"Oh, we don't know what happened to those birds. Why would they they were expelled from their nest?" And it's probably a cuckoo bird. And well, that's basically what's happening in this film is they're being forced to raise a child that's not theirs in the same manner as a cuckoo bird is, right? So
Yeah, interesting point, yeah.
So that aspect is in there as well, and I mean, there's other stuff in there too. I was gonna say the concrete jungle, that
Sure,
big city life, not just suburbia, but maybe more downtown areas where you're surrounded by concrete and you can't get away from it, because that was very prominent in the film as well.
Yeah, but I felt that was more usually just speaking from my experience, I find downtown areas, I mean, they can have their dark corners and such, but there are, certain downtown neighborhoods, like some still exist in the Toronto area, where they have more personality and character. They're not just cookie cutter housing developments like you would find a bit further out in the suburbs of the Toronto area.
Right. So maybe I misspoke a little bit. Maybe not directly downtown, but somewhere in between regular suburbia and in between.
But there are definitely there is more development in Toronto of like supposedly modern condominium type living that can feel very, confining and you feel trapped by it. Right. It's not like the older neighborhoods where the more established neighborhoods, like say Parkdale neighborhood, has its rough areas, but there's also a lot of character to it as well. Or even like areas in Scarborough. Scarborough is a bit more rough edged, but there are still neighborhood institutions and restaurants and stuff.
Apparently, as well, the screeching behavior that in the film, the boy was constantly screeching at the top of his lungs whenever he didn't get what he wanted, which was seemingly cereal and milk. But apparently that's another thing that cuckoo birds do as well, is they screech and screech and screech when their mother's not around, or if they're not being fed the correct way or something like that. So
yeah,
but. And then there was this scene too with the house burning down. He tried to burn the house down. That was another symbol of, no matter what you do and how you do it, there's no way out of here. So he burns the house down, and mysteriously the next day it reappears exactly the way it did the previous day.
Even though there's still fly ash drifting around and all over the sidewalk.
Yeah. So it cemented in the idea that you're here to stay and there's no getting out.
Yeah.
So basically, I was thinking more about the human behavior and morale of the story. I was toying with the thought that basically there are 2 points of view. As for the moral aspect of the story, you have one point of view from a human aspect, a human being, like people aspect. Let's call it alien aspect. So practically, when we take in consideration the human morale, I think this couple completely failed. They they didn't look for some sort of solution. They gave up after one day. They gave up to look for the escape or something. Plus they were not really aligned like she was obviously her motherhood prevailed, and so she was taking care of this boy, even though she knew he was not really human.
Right.
And Tom, he always reminded her it's not him, it's it.
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah.
disconnect between from human point of view. This movie is nihilistic because they both end up they both gave up, and
Right.
they died simply,
Mm.
very in very dreadful way. But then we have the second aspect, and that's alien point of view, basically. So for aliens, there is not really they are not doing something bad, because you have spiders who, let's say, the children of spiders who eats or devour its mother, right? So in the animal world or insect world, you have all kinds of insects, or maybe even lizards who they destroy parents after making their duty to lay eggs, or to another generation of spiders or whatever. You know what I mean? So basically, from point of view of this boy, or these lizard people, didn't do anything wrong. It was all in accordance with their way of life, or way of I guess multiplying, and living the life in some foreign planet, I guess, or whatever. So we have two morale, basically. We have one which is completely uh, aligned with this alien thinking, and then we have the second one, which is the human one, which I think completely failed, because I don't see much effort. There was one night they were trying to exit from this vivarium, and then the guy was just digging the hole, you
Yeah.
know, and the mother
Right.
was fighting with the mother instinct, and she couldn't. If there was better cooperation between those two.
They gave up rather quickly, I think. Tom was
Yeah.
the non-husband, I guess, but I don't know if he heard. I think he heard some point in the film. He heard something in the ground, which was probably one of the other vivariums. So that was his motivation to keep digging. But,
Mhm. They-
or maybe it was more of him just wanting to get away from the boy. So he was just trapping himself in that hole, so he wouldn't have to listen to that stupid kid. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So they completely failed. You know, I don't see much of the effort to get out. I mean, even in the roof. The first it says help.
yep,
Oh, the message on the roof. Yeah, yeah. That they were
Yeah,
hoping to have
and
seen
like,
by an airplane or something.
so even in the message you could see the desperation, because first they really
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
that someone can help them, and second message was "f you," right? So they gave up. I see a huge message about the relationships. This relationship definitely it wasn't good.
it's not standard. You wouldn't expect a couple to behave like that so quickly. I don't think it's not realistic in that sense. And even if let's say they did want a family, I don't think they even portrayed what family life might be look like. Yeah, there can be suburbia, but I mean it's not to the effect that it's portrayed in the film, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
yeah.
there's good and
So
bad times in every situation, but this one was just one bad time nonstop. So
Well, although they
yeah,
did sort of reconcile near the end of the film, or closer to the end of the film. I guess that's why I was sort of thinking it's like an allegory about dysfunctional relationships in suburbia. Like there are ups and downs, and it seemed like this was supposed to be a time compressed version of like a suburban marriage,
mm.
like with ups and downs and reconciliation near the end, sort of thing. That's how
Yeah,
it seemed to me, I guess.
it takes place in, I'm not going to say more than a year, maybe even 6 months, like the entire
But that
plot.
was the other thing. It seemed like the time continuums or the timelines were the timeline was more compressed inside the Vivarium because when their son emerges near the end and takes over the real estate office or the estate office for Martin, you
Yeah,
can see he's visibly aged.
right.
And
He's a
whereas
full grown adult, so
an older adult, definitely near the end of his life cycle. Whereas Tom and Gemma, they didn't really visibly age over the course of their storyline.
yeah. So
Oh, but
apparently
but
these.
hold on,
Okay, go
hold
ahead,
on a
Roscoe.
second. But that's logical because apparently, if he can grow, if he could grow 10 years in 96 days, then obviously Martin would be very old in a very short time because. So basically, I still think it was actually it was realistic because they spent probably 6 or 7 months in Vivarium, and by the time those
Sure.
because the Martin was already adult, right? The first Martin,
Yeah,
he was
The
already
first
adult.
Martin,
So
yeah.
by the time they spent 6 months there, then he was already very old and dying, basically. So I believe the lifespan of these lizard people is much shorter than the human,
yeah. Well,
right?
Well, yeah,
apparently, whether
maybe. I
it's
don't know.
yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, there's so many ways to interpret this that you'll never come to a
Yeah.
consensus on what actually
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the other thing too, I kind of drove me a little bit crazy about the plot was that the mother, what was her name again? It was
Gemma.
Gemma. So Gemma, she's kind of constantly going back and forth between whether she wants to be, like you said, Rosto, a mother figure or not a mother figure, and I think she went
Yeah.
back and forth 3 or 4 times before she finally just solidified her position on the whole thing at near the end. But I don't take that as very realistic either. If you have a motherly instinct, then I would think that she would have, from the get-go, tried to take care of the boy, and it would have been more of a dynamic or a better illustration of the plot if there was some conflict between Gemma and Tom because of that, and then she slowly works her way to the point where, okay, yeah, I can't be a mother to this anymore. But the way she was going back and forth was just kind of, to me, felt pretty haphazardly done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was, yeah. That fight between the mother instinct and sort of realization of that who that boy is in reality, that there was this fight. The whole behavior of this couple was very erratic.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just strange.
Well, I mean, maybe they weren't humans themselves and they just didn't know it. I don't know.
Well, could be.
Who knows with this film,
Could
right?
be.
Some other
So
things.
maybe we can slowly go to.
Yeah, I just got a couple other little things. So the town was called Yonder, and I guess that's appropriate to the plot because you're way out there yonder, away from the normal things of life, I guess.
Yeah.
Which was
over yonder. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I was gonna say, I wasn't sure in the second scene when they try to drive away, they asked if when they come back and they're going in their circles, they see the house number 9 again, and they notice that the door is open, and he asks, "Oh, well, did we leave the door open?" And to answer that question, the answer was no. In the prior scene, the door was definitely closed, but when they come back, it was open. So I think that might have been a blooper or something, or I don't know if that was intentional, but if it was, I don't get the symbolism of that either. So it's a nitpick, but it just kind of stood out for me. So
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, those people were they could manipulate the surroundings, so easily they could crawl
I mean,
around.
Maybe it was
they
just there to make them more uneasy about the situation. Who knows? But I don't know.
guess
The
so.
plot just felt to me very like haphazardly thrown together, and
Yeah,
considering
I
that
agree. I agree.
considering that the screenplay, I mean the director didn't even have a real vision for the film, kind of like you can see it play out in the plot. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the acting a little bit.
yeah, let's talk
I
about a
I mean,
positive.
Yeah.
I am obviously Jesse Eisenberg. He proved himself being a very talented actor. So there is no doubt he
Yep.
did what he could
Yep.
with this script. He did maximum, as well as Imogen Poots. She was really great. Those, like I said, those other actors who played
Martin.
Aliens, the Martin. Yeah, he was good actually. His name is
Yeah,
Jonathan Aris,
Jonathan
and
Aries, and
that
the
is
other one
the
was Seanan Jennings. I think I preferred him over the younger one, but yeah, I think
yeah. There was the young boy Sinan Jennings, and the older boy. I'm not sure how to pronounce. It's a Irish type of name. Ina, I guess. Ina Hardwick, actor from Ireland,
hmm
and he played the young or adult version of this boy. So I mean, I have no complaints. I think it was captured well.
yeah. I mean, I think they understood what they had to do, and they did it very well. Especially the child actors, as you said, they were trying to mimic. Mimicry. What the mimicry was quite good, and all they had to do is a little bit of voice manipulation afterwards, and it.
Yeah.
And even I was really appreciating that Jesse Eisenberg wasn't trying to take over the stage. He was clearly
Right.
giving all the
Yeah.
space to Imogen Poots. So
Yeah.
he
Yeah. I
was
agree. Yeah.
yeah, more like there was no competition. Basically, he was really respecting that Imogen Poots to be practically a main character as a mother. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's my take. So I have no complaint about the acting or selection of cast, I would say.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
perfectly cast for this film, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I like their chemistry in the early scenes before they actually go into the Yonder neighborhood. I mean their chemistry was pretty good. I mean, I thought they played the couple as a couple, a typical suburban like the long-term partnership couple really well. And you can sort of tell that Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots, you can tell they'd worked together before and they work well together. Yeah. And it was like like you guys have been saying, it's kind of haphazard how they behave in the later parts of the story. But in the early scenes,
Right.
I thought they were enjoyable to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was also enjoying the Martin, Jonathan Harris.
Yeah, he
That
yeah, he
he,
was interesting, but I agree, but they didn't really explain why. There was no real explanation why he was acting so strange.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
he did.
no,
that was another thing. There was basically no backstory to it. So it's
Yeah, yeah.
considering that the actors were able to pull this off, considering the backstory was non-existent, then yeah,
Right.
they must have just kind of came up with these ideas on their own, maybe being the good actors that they are. Maybe they just took some inspiration from somewhere else and went
Mhm.
with it.
well, you just said Finnegan in that interview. He said he just kind of leave it up to viewers' imagination, or fantasy, So basically,
Yeah,
kind
I
of
guess the actors did the same thing.
yeah. So I guess they were just improvising, really, like Practically, just read the script and do whatever you want, you know.
But
And
to me, that's kind of cheaping out on the storytelling. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I know. I agree with you, Ken, on that point for sure.
there should be more. I mean,
yeah.
movies. I understand this is supposed to be movie on maybe on unanswered agenda or something. You know, you're supposed to think, and
Right.
but I guess compilation of everything, and then
Right.
there is simply there is a typical movie that gives you some hints, and you're supposed to think about it. Let's say like David Lynch, you know, he gives you
Yeah.
part of the story, and many things are hidden, and then you think about it. But this movie, on one hand, it's pretty plain, so it doesn't give you impression that you're supposed to think.
Yeah, there's not a lot of thinking going on in this film.
Yeah, and on the other hand, it pretends to that you're supposed to think it's a think piece. You know,
Right.
it's
You're
like a
you're supposed to think it's a think piece.
Yeah, exactly. You see, it's even hard to hard to verbalize
Yeah.
that. You know.
Yeah.
Well, let's just come to an agreement. This film was about a bunch of cuckoo birds.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I like better the lizard people.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's just move on to visual effects and whatnot, because that's another positive category.
Yeah.
Okay, I can be quick. I really appreciated the sound design.
You really appreciate the sound design?
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of like how do you how do you express something weird going on on the screen? Like
Mm.
the baby was, well, not the baby. I mean the boy. I guess learning some sort of symbols or some sounds, weird
Yeah.
crackling sounds or whatever. So basically, he was receiving the information, right? So it was nicely done, you know. And also, I appreciated the color. Color was really suitable to my concept of the movie. That basically, the from human aspect, they actually failed terribly, you know. So the color palette of colors was accurate to that.
They blended they blended the CGI and the colors and the practical effects and props well together, that they were pretty seamless for the most part.
Yeah,
Mm.
it was pretty
Yeah.
seamless. Also, I was really enjoying this tiny moment when the older boy kind of just pull out the pavement. He just pull it out
Yeah,
like a
Yeah.
carpet, you
like a
know. And
carpet. Yeah,
Yeah.
she just puts the shovel, you know, just to
pop it
make
open.
a space for her to you know. It was very dreadful and desperate when she was sort of when she went through other houses, and she sort of just sink she just sunk in she just
Like quicksand.
sunk in
Like
like
quicksand.
a
Yeah.
quicksand. It was like a marches, you know, like it was really amazing effect. As for the effect quality, I I was really enjoying the effects as such.
Yeah, I liked the cloud. The thing I liked was the cloud formations and in the sky over yonder. There's like a cotton balls kind of strewn through the sky. I thought that was kind of an interesting choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
It didn't
Yeah.
really. I mean, it didn't really make sense, but it was interesting to look at.
yeah. They even point that out in the film when she was having one of her motherly moments. I guess she was like, "What
Yeah.
do you see in the clouds?" And I see clouds.
Right.
And well,
Yeah.
don't you think clouds should have different shapes and sizes and da da da?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. I mean, those things you guys have pointed out about like the alien effects and the sidewalk being pulled up. they sort of, I guess these sort of hint that the Vivarium is an alien experiment, but hinting is all they manage. And I'm
Yeah.
sort of, show me more. If you're going to promise an alien invasion, I think you should show one, or at least hint at it a bit larger than just a sidewalk being pulled up,
Right.
Yeah,
or a,
there was
yeah,
obvious.
or glowing goiters.
Yeah, obviously I would say the background story was lacking or missing
Yeah,
completely.
yeah.
Basically, there was basically none. At least give me even 60 seconds would be enough. Just some kind of hint, some
Exactly. That's what I mean to say. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I hinted something larger.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's almost seems like the director and writer didn't want to. They either weren't prepared properly for the script, or they didn't want to step on anybody's toes, so they were trying to make it as generalist as possible and maybe not stray into conspiracy
Yeah.
territory, but maybe
Yeah,
try to write a film about a conspiracy theory, but not actually reveal that it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but I guess that could be. But it didn't. It does. It ends up being unsatisfying. In
Oh,
that
for
way,
sure, yeah.
Narratively speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, when you go that route and when you try to please everybody, you end up not pleasing anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't think I
Well-
had anything else to say about the visual effects other than I enjoyed them.
There was one thing I wanted to add about the soundtrack. Actually, I like the fact that they played the song "Complicated Game" by a band called XTC over the credits. They were a British band from back in the late '70s, early '80s, and
Oh.
they had their big song, I think, was "Making Plans for Nigel," and I think that was actually a good choice because from what I've heard of them, their songs were about like the suburban ennui, and in particular in England or Britain or the UK.
Ah, yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
so
That's
yeah, so I thought that song was I mean the song itself, "Complicated Game," it's a very disorienting or just disturbing or unsettling. I
They-
thought that was a good choice.
They could have found a better place to put it, though. Maybe had a scene in the film where it would have been more suitable to use that, but I guess they didn't decide that.
Well, yeah, I guess they could have like as a radio snippet maybe, but I guess they wanted to put it over the end credits sort of to complete the uneasy feeling of the film.
Yeah.
Like that's why I thought it was a good choice for an end credits song that way,
Okay.
because their stuff is
Cool.
That was one of the more.
Huh.
I thought that was one of the more thoughtful choices.
Yeah.
nice.
All right. Well, I think we're all in agreement that the special effects made the mood what it is. Made the mood suspenseful.
They
Well,
helped anyway,
Not
yeah.
suspenseful, but dreary and dreadful and
Yeah,
existential.
Nice.
Yeah.
existential dread again.
Right.
Good. So, guys, are you up to rating this?
Oh, I can't wait
think
for this part.
Yeah,
Should I go the first?
Yeah, you go first. It's your pick.
please do.
Okay. So, style directing, theatrical score, it's 6 out of 10. Plot, story, it's 4 out of 10. Acting, 6. Special effects, 6, which makes it overall rating 5.5 out of 10. And the unsung rating is unsung in the aquarium.
Okay. I'm going to up you on that one, but anyways.
Okay.
I'll go next, I suppose, then. Yeah, as I'd said prior, I couldn't really accept the plot. It was mostly there's many interpretations. I tend to believe it was about the parasitic bird's behavior, and the distinct lack of backstory is what really drove down the whole film for me. And too many interpretations and the kitchen sink effect going on. So for the directing score, I gave it a 5 out of 10. I would have gave it more if they would have put more effort into the plot. It would have put the directing score up. For the plot, I gave it a 2 out of 10. which is probably kind of expected. The cast score, I gave a 7. Props to them for that. And the special effects, I gave a 7. And my overall rating is 5.25 out of 10. And my unsung rating is unsung and dumped into a hole, never to be seen again.
Okay, cool.
Because it fits
Not bad.
perfectly with the ending of the film.
Indeed.
That's probably, if I had this on DVD, that's probably what I would do too, is throw it at the bottom of the hole.
Oh, man. Well,
Okay.
well, I guess over to me then.
Yippers.
Yeah.
Okay. I was pretty close to your ratings, Stu. Style, directing, theatrical, I gave it 5 out of 10. Plot and story, I was a little kinder than you, Stu. I gave it 3 out of 10. Cast and acting, 7. As we've agreed, that the actors Eisenberg and Poots, they did quite well. I can't fault them for what they did with the material. So 7 out of 10 there. Special effects, 5 out of 10. I like the cotton ball clouds. They were pretty cool. And my overall rating is 5 out of 10. And my unsung rating is unsung and lost its deposit.
Lost its deposit.
As in a deposit for the construction.
Okay, so maybe it's under the sidewalk. Maybe you should go look under there.
Yeah, maybe.
We are pretty much in agreement. I mean, my score is 5.5. Stu's is 5.25, and yours is 5.
Straight 5. Yeah.
The straight 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
it's average movie. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be picking next time because I want to pick something a little more fun and entertaining, I think, after this depressing film.
But I still would like to recommend you guys out there to watch it because
And judge for yourselves.
it's Jesse Eisenberg pick. You know, he likes to hang around the indie movies scene. He likes that. And
Does he have anything newer that's better?
I am not following lately, but
They put out a new Now You See Me movie, right? Right? One of the third movie out of the Now You See Me films.
oh well, but that's not indie movie, right?
No, it's not. I guess. Yeah, that's a pretty major.
It's a paycheck movie. So basically, the other movies I would recommend from indie scene is Double and the Art of Self-Defense.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you on Art of Self-Defense. Yeah, that was pretty engaging stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to wrap up this episode of Unsung Cinematics. And yeah, so we should be releasing our off the record, hopefully in short order. So we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, boys, for coming on again. And
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks to the audience.
And don't be silly, mother.
And don't be silly, mother.
Don't be silly, mother.
The Unsung Cinematics podcast is produced by Rastislav and Stewart Rathje. The statements in this podcast are the opinions of the hosts and not necessarily a true statement or literal fact. You can find us on Substack at unsungcinematics.substack.com or listen to us on your favorite podcasting app. Copyright 2026.